Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna talk about Notion and why I think this is the best platform for learning coding. And let's start with my story about how I first discovered it. I had heard about Notion many times before, but honestly, I didn't understand what made it different from other note-taking platforms. So I kept taking notes the traditional way using my iPad, even for coding. When I attended my coding class, I tried to write out every main points of the class and even coding examples. But soon, I realized there is a big problem. It was too slow. By the time I finished writing a piece of code, my professor he already switched to another slide. Personally, I truly understand code when I write it down. But back then, I was stubborn. I still using my iPad for few more classes, and then one day, I sat behind a guy who was taking notes using Notion. During that entire class, I can't stop looking at his screen, the colors, the layouts, and the way he organized his code. It was so captivating. After that class, I went home and learned all the basics of the Notions, and then I used it right away. And from that experience, I realized there are three main advantages of Notion compared to the traditional note-taking. First one is colorful and visually appealing. That's what caught my attention first. You can customize the colors, highlight the syntax to make your notes look alive. Believe it or not, those colors make it easier to stay focused and understand the concepts, especially when learning theory-heavy topics. The second thing is it's practical and powerful. Notion supports code blocks which work almost like a Markdown file. If you don't know, Markdown is the simple text format that's easy to read and write. In Notion, you can write down main ideas as code snippets and instantly make your notes professional, like a documentation. And the third one is super easy to review. This is something I really like. When you move your mouse to the sidebar, Notion automatically shows all the headers and subheaders of the topic. So you can click on it and it will jump directly on that section. That makes reviewing lessons so much faster and more organized, especially before tests or exams. I started using Notion at the beginning of this term, so I'm still exploring it, but with just the basics, it made a huge difference. So here's how I take notes. I open slides during my class or self-studying, then I write in some key points and then adding code blocks to practice code immediately. And here are some useful shortcuts I often use. I often use Ctrl B for keywords. And then I use Ctrl I for string or code, something like that. Ctrl E for something called inline code, like this, inline code. You can use Ctrl C, V, Z, Y, and that for copy, paste, undo, and redo. And these are the same with the Microsoft Word, and a file is really useful in Notion too, so you can learn it. Here are some of my markdown style I often use, like code to create a code block. You can see I can create it for you. Yeah, you can create it, and you can also choose the language you want. I would say Python. You can write Spring, Hello World. Yeah, that's really cool, right? You can use one hash for the main heading, two hash for the subheader, and three hash for the subheader, and so on. Here, I will create like Python, like the subheaders, maybe string. The subheader is something you want to notice like mutable. You can notice that when you write like this also create a Python, the string and a mutable for you. So it's really great to organize your notes, right? So these are the one I use most often, and if you want to explore more, you can go to Notion documentation to read about it. And they have a lot of shortcuts you can explore here. There are a lot of ways, or you can just go shortcuts. Here you can see here the keyboard shortcuts, so you can also learn it. It also have for MacBook or Windows, so you can also learn it. And the best part is that you can copy your code directly from Notion and paste it into your IDE and run it instantly. And that makes super convenient when review your notes later. Okay, let me show you. I will open my IDE and I create a new file. Click here and a test.py. So you can, you just create like this and you copy your code here. You can see we have a code here, so we just copy and paste it. Control V. I will run it. Python test.py. Yeah, you can see we have here on a terminal, so that's really great. Okay guys, now I just time-lapse my whole process of taking notes for this coding class, so you guys can feel free to pass this if you don't like, or if you want to see how my process, you can keep watching this time lapse. Let's go. Combining explanation and small code blocks so everything stays clear and easy to review later. I hope this video will help you find out one more note-taking platform for coding classes. And when I explore some new or cool stuff, definitely I will share with you guys. So thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Goodbye.